Why would Walmart have this crappy looking AI generated action figure on the shelf? Well, it's because I made it. How did I make it? It started with a prompt to ChatGPT, which went on to describe a bootleg toy created by a mysterious manufacturer with questionable ethics. But how did I go from text output to an actual figure? It started with Dolly, where I copied and pasted the description of the figure in to create a visual representation. This one was cropped a little too close, like my last haircut, so I had to let it regrow. But how did I convert a 2D image into a 3D figure? I used this AI model called Pifu HD to automatically infer the back of the figure. Ooh, look at that booty. Next, I used an AI model called My Brother Who Owns a 3D Printer. It's not very configurable, and it works on its own timeline, but the results are pretty good, I guess. Now, ChatGPT described a figure with articulation, but mine doesn't have any joints yet, so I whipped out my handy amputator and started severing limbs. Do you ever feel like your shoulder needs to pop? So how did I convert these ugly amputated limbs to smooth sliding articulated joints? I didn't. But I did use Fix-It Sculpt to fill in some of the holes and stop the bleeding. I'm not even sure why I used sandpaper at this point because, as I mentioned, I wasn't trying to make smooth joints. I guess it's just kind of like an existential thing. Like, is it even a DIY project if you don't use sandpaper? I don't know. Anyway, I used this old Lego piece as a hip bone to connect the crotch bone to the leg bone. You may have seen that ChatGPT called for stiff joints that are difficult to pose, and all I could say is, totally nailed it. It also called for a sloppy paint job with uneven colors and rough edges, and boy, did I deliver. Look at these delicious hot pink boots. So did I really let the AI designer make all the decisions? The answer is no. In a moment of human weakness, I used epoxy resin to put an NFC chip on the buttocks of the figure, and then added a label that says tap here. I programmed the chip to pop up a poop emoji when you tap that booty. Please don't report me to the AI authorities. ChatGPT described the packaging as a simple cardboard box with a grainy image of the figure on the front. So I generated a few concepts in Midjourney and Dolly and used those as inspiration. Then I printed it out and put it on a great value artisan crafted Italian 5-cheese mac and cheese box. Dang, he looks good in there, so sexy and confident. Actually, I'm thinking of getting myself a mac and cheese box to live in. Last but not least, I put the AI designer equivalent of a "How's my driving" sticker on the front, imagining a future where autonomous factories pump out iterative garbage, responding to customer feedback to adjust its output. Ah, the future.